Another day, another story. How to reclaim your online privacy. On this week's episode of Have a Nice Future, Gideon Litchfield and Lauren Goode talk to Meredith Whittaker, president of the Signal Foundation, about whether we're really doomed to give up all of our private information to tech companies. If you're on an iPhone or iPad, just tap this link, or open the app called Podcasts and search for Have a Nice Future. Gideon Litchfield, I'm trying to remember, is it privacy or privacy? Lauren Goode, I remember writing a lot about health and fitness apps in the early 2010s, only to see most of them get acquired or sunsetted or absorbed into something else by the late 2010s, and then realizing at that moment, oh right, that data is still out there and just lives somewhere else now. See what's next in tech with the Fast Forward newsletter. I've heard people in general characterize it that way, and I think there's a lot going on there. One is that I don't think we can project this sort of neoliberal individualist frame onto human use of technology. And the real danger here is that the interests of those corporations and potentially governments they collaborate with, which are not all sort of aligned with the public good, many of whom are increasingly authoritarian, will sort of have access, have leverage via that data, and will use that in ways that harm the people who ultimately created that data. But it's, again, not always narrated that way. Gideon Litchfield. And final question. You've already said you're pretty optimistic, but how do you stay hopeful when you are looking at these enormously powerful forces that you are arrayed against? Meredith Whittaker. Oh, I read a lot of history. Every cook can govern, laughs, and I draw a lot of hope from history. That even in the darkest times, people find ways to resist, and people find ways to create worlds that are at least more livable than the world they're handed. Gideon Litchfield. So I feel like I had these assumptions going in, which I stated in the interview. Privacy is dead. There's nothing we can do to get it back, but maybe we can protect people from some of the harms of not having privacy. Gideon Litchfield. I don't know, you could say it's still early days for those kinds of protests. And it's not clear how it helps you gain back control of your data, and it doesn't solve the basic problem, which is that the surveillance economy, regardless of how much data you are sharing, is still predicated on this exchange of data for services. Gideon Litchfield. I guess I would say that Meredith embarrassed me a little bit into being optimistic. Thanks for watching.